And we are back. Welcome back to another episode of the Fini del Vesuvio podcast. Look who's back here to join us, fresh out of the Dominican Republic. My boy looking real nice with that tan and everything.
It's
Sere, how
going
you
away.
doing?
It's going away. Canada's doing its job on me. It's
Oh, Canada.
I'm turning silky white already.
I am pale. I look like Casper the Ghost out here, man. It's bad.
Yeah,
Plus,
I,
we
I, I
just
mean,
got
I
like
wish I could lie and say like I'm glad to be back, but I'm not. I would rather be there.
this
But
guy came.
no, it's nice to be back in some ways, I guess. But like being on the show, but in every other way
Yeah,
is not very or being at the Napoli club and watching the game. But
come on.
other than that, it's not very nice to be back.
Yeah, no, I feel that. It'd be a hard transition for me too to go from like plus 30 to whatever we had today. What was it? Last night it was like minus 10 and
Minus
like
10, but it was
like
raining. We had everything
we had
within 24
everything.
hours. We had
Yeah, it was
rain,
like
freezing rain, sleet, and then
snow.
20 centimeters of snow.
It
So,
was it was like legit the worst the past 24 hours. Shoveling snow today, my back is killing me. It's like
I don't know,
I hated it.
super, super ugly.
Yeah,
That's for
ugly.
lack of a
Ugly is
better
the best
term.
way to put it. I agree. But anyways, we're here, guys. We're here. We have a lot to
We're here,
cover
we out here,
on this team. We have a lot
we out here.
to. We out. Of course, we
I
out
got
here.
this as soon as I got back, it was waiting for me in the mail.
Oh, it's
Pretty
beautiful,
clean.
man. We got another one coming in
Oh, fuck,
too.
I'm
Eh?
on the wrong side.
At the other
Huh?
side. Yeah, I know it's flipped over on this camera. It's weird.
You
We
ever
got
see
another
that?
one coming in,
You ever see that I forget what team, and they announced the signing, and the guy's pointing at the badge, but it's on the
It's like
wrong
the other
side.
side.
He's pointing at the sponsor.
Actually, there's a funny thing that you just reminded me of now. It's from the Barcelona game, and we're gonna get into it after. But
Oh
first,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm talking. Okay, you
A
know
lot
what
of
I'm
people having
talking about.
troubles with these badges, eh?
Yeah. All right. So, but before we get into that, um, we're going to introduce, as you know, it's another episode of the Meet the Club. This is what we're going to be doing every week now, in case you guys haven't caught on yet. Every 2 weeks is how we're running the program. So every 2 weeks, we're going to feature another member of the club to come out and talk Napoli with us. But today's member is a little bit special of a member because he's not just a member. In fact, he's an executive council member. He's one of the top guys that help us run this club.
Mm-hmm.
He is very, very out there on social media. He has his own podcast with Six Side Calcio. He has that social media accounts that he runs. He's knowledgeable from anything from soccer to American football. But I just want to welcome on to this episode of the Meet the Club, Danny Del Grosso, our Napoli Club Toronto
What's up,
social
guys?
media manager.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
Ciao,
man?
Danny.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Just little mixed emotions from yesterday's performance. Didn't like the way we played, but I'm happy that we didn't lose. And we got out of there with a tie.
Yeah, man. I mean, like we'll get into them. We'll get into them soon. But what we want to do first is obviously it's called Meet the Club. So let's meet the club. Let's meet Danny Del Grosso. Danny, the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Tell us the come ups of being a Napoli fan and what it meant to be a Napoli fan in Toronto.
Yeah, no, it was when I first became a Napoli fan around I want to say 2011, 2012. Uh it's because of my dad's side. My dad's side's Napolitan. They grew up watching Napoli, grew up idolizing Maradona, listening to the stories they would tell me just about what he would do with the ball and how it was like they never seen it before and what he meant to the city of Napoli, how he was considered a god there. So for me, that was just a main factor for me. Like the passion that the fans show. And when I became a Napoli fan in Toronto, I was like, oh shit, I'm the only one here. Like no one else was a Napoli fan, like, especially like in Vaughan. Everyone's Juventino, some Roma fans, some Inter fans, a lot of AC Milan fans. So just being a Napoli fan, I was like kind of alone, you can say, until recently, where uh, Phil, when I tweeted at him if he knew any fans in Toronto, and he goes, "Yeah, meet up with these guys." And from there, history was made as like we made the Napoli Club. You asked me to be the social media manager, and now we're here. Now we're playing on the same soccer team as well.
Yeah, man. It's actually a funny story because when people ask Sereno and I, like, oh, how did you start the Napoli Club? I don't think people realize that Danny was the like spark to
Danny
get the
sparked
club
it. Yeah,
going.
he started it.
Like that's what it was. Because if it wasn't for Danny getting that tweet out, I don't think I ever would have messaged Sereno. I
No,
honestly,
when without Phil tagging all of us, Azuri fan Phil, yeah, I don't think we ever meet, to be honest. Well,
yeah,
maybe we
No.
meet, but I don't think we ever make the club. Like it,
Yeah.
no,
that sparked the chain of events that led to Napoli Club Toronto and like where we are right now. So,
yeah,
shout out to Azuri fan Phil
Yeah.
yeah,
and Danny Del Grosso. So
See, I was gonna go to the game in Michigan too. It's just like with all the shit happening prior, it wasn't affordable for us at the time.
yeah.
I was like we could maybe met there too. So who knew?
You know,
Like,
it was funny too because Sereno and I were at the Michigan game. Never
we're in the
saw him.
same section.
Same
oh my
section. We were at the same game, same section. We didn't even know of each other's existence, and we were maybe a couple rows apart from each other. And then it wasn't until, like I said, you sent out that tweet where Phil, because I'd already talked to Joey fan Phil prior, saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I want to start a Napoli club," knowing that he's the president of the club in Philly, right? So I'm like, "How do I start this? Like, what goes on?" He was like, "Yeah, just look around on social media. Something will pop up."
Yeah.
Funny enough, Phil was right. Something did pop,
Yeah,
and
it was weird too because I started tweeting. I always had Twitter for like the longest time. I would just never
yeah,
tweet like, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm a Napoli fan. Let's see if I can find Napoli fan. So I typed in hashtag Napoli or just Napoli on Twitter, and
yeah,
Phil's tweets came up. A few other people's tweets came up. Rafa's tweets came up. The Far From Vesuvius tweets came up,
mhm,
so I would follow them. And then I came into contact. I tweeted at Phil. I go, Phil, I'm just new to Twitter. Is there any Napoli fans in Toronto? Because I feel like I'm alone.
yep,
Magic, and then you guys came.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
honestly, and I think
Napoli Twitter is really like we all kind of like had Twitter, and then like we all real at a point seems like a couple years ago we all figured out like, oh wait, I'm not the only
yeah,
person on Twitter that's a Napoli fan, and this boom, like it's like overnight this whole community just blew up, like, and
Yeah,
and it's I feel like it's different than any other cultural community because like it seems like we all kind of like know each other or have had like interactions with each other. Like
yeah,
it's a very like tight knit community, but it seems like it's came out of nowhere. But
yeah,
yeah,
look how many good things have come out of it. So
and
um,
it keeps getting bigger.
it's
Like by the
getting
day,
going.
of
Yeah,
course,
there's
like
new
it's yeah,
members.
Napoli Twitter is a family, and it's really grown the Napoli community. I think a lot in the last few
yeah.
years. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And you're right about like I'm gonna bring this back to a club perspective because for other people it may be a different a different come up for the Napoli Twitter community. But I remember when we first put out our social media page for the club in September of 2019. It was mid September 19th, I think was the date. I made that Twitter and Instagram. Honestly, I was in a lecture in class. I was just like, oh, you know what? Let's just set it up right now and get it out of the way. In 24 hours we had like it was literally overnight 200 followers
Yeah,
just like in a snap like that overnight. And going back to what I think we all felt at one point, oh, we're the only Napoli fans in this city. It just you realize really quickly that you're not. There's a ton of us out here. There's and still we right now are almost at 1,000 on Instagram. We're like 300 on Twitter, and there's still people that I meet every
don't even
single day
know us.
that
they
don't
don't.
know
Yeah, or
that
that don't
don't
follow
know.
the club. Like it's
Yeah, but
crazy.
they have the same experience, right? Like I've talked to a couple of people. Danny and I work at work in the Ontario Soccer Center, so we meet people every day, like soccer fans and all that. I've counted at least 3 or 4 people off the top of my head that had just like they're Napoli fans, no recognition. They had no idea that there were other fans in the city. And then they come up and meet Danny and I, and they're like, "Oh, damn, this is nuts. I never
Yeah,
would have thought this would have happened." And it's even crazier to think about how many generations prior to us, right, that had the same feelings and just nothing came about. So it's really cool to see.
There's always been like Neapolitans here, but Napoli for the longest while wasn't really a top team. So a lot of a lot of I guess you could say like what would you say, like second generation,
Yeah,
second generation, then going into third generation, Neapolitan, like of Neapolitan descent, they would fan for the Milans, the Inters, the Juves. So we kind of like lost a few generations, but now that Napoli's been good, mind you, there's fans that like stuck by them even like during those
Yeah.
times. But
yeah,
people who are from there are starting to fan Napoli again. So um,
yep.
we're seeing the community grow in the GTA a lot. Obviously, nowhere near as much as like Juve and Inter and Milan, but
I
um,
wouldn't say that, man. We're getting there. The numbers are
we
there.
yeah,
Oh
well,
yeah.
we thought there was nobody, and everybody that comes to the club, um, the same, like the first interaction I have with them is always, man, I can't believe like there's all these fans, and like I thought I was the only one. It's the exact everyone, the exact
And
same thing they say to us. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
funny
we're
too
just happy that
because
we were able to get this started, and now have this, I guess you could say, like platform that connects us all, that we all thought we were so isolated and like
yeah.
niche, but we're actually this huge community. So um, yeah, no, it's been an amazing few years, man, and
yeah, and
we
it
need to
was funny
start.
too on Sunday too, where I think it was halftime that a guy walks into the club and he's a fan. Like he goes, "Oh, I
Yeah,
want to join the club," just at halftime randomly.
yeah. Some dude just walked in. He's like, "Oh, I heard about it. Let me join." I'm like, "All right, cool. Yeah, just sit
Like,
Amazing.
down."
"Sit down."
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, and all three of us now, and excluding Gianluca, who's not in here right now, but he will be on the next one. Here's a little teaser for those of you watching right now. Gianluca's on the next one. Gianluca's our PR guy. All four of us have built what I would create. I would say a force to be reckoned with as of right now, because it's still a growing club.
We're
2019,
we're we're, we're very young.
very young, and honestly it couldn't be without the help of Danny here, who runs our social media, gets our edits ready, comes up with new ideas all the time. So like, thank you, because if it was
Thank
us
you guys
two,
for
I don't think we could have reached as far as we could have without you guys as well. So
yeah,
thank
like
you
just
for
thank
that.
you for inviting me to the team. Like it's truly an honor to just be part of
Hey,
the main, like the head, the high art. Oh my god, the high point of the
Hierarchy.
Napoli.
look,
Yeah,
look at this comment right here, just to solidify what we've been saying. Look at this from Pasquale. When you see someone wearing Napoli gear in public, you know they are tifoso. But when you see people wearing Juve or Inter Milan, you can never guarantee that they really follow the club. Pasquale, I could not agree more. And you
Yeah,
know what the
I
perfect
agree.
example of that was? When we went to Michigan to watch Napoli Barcelona. That was a pinnacle example as to what he just said right now, right? There was maybe 5,000 Napoli fans in a stadium of 60,000 people. All right. Those 5,000 were the loudest for 90 minutes, even though we got clobbered. What, 3-0, 4-0, whatever it
Or
was?
yeah,
nothing, but like all four goals
Two
were offside.
offside goals. Yeah. Three or four offside
Was
goals. It doesn't
those?
matter.
Yeah. Can you do?
But that's the perfect example, right? When I don't know, like Sereno said, it's a tight knit family, this Napoli community. And that's when I became a fan. That's what drew me into it, was that how everything was connected together between the team, the fans, and the city itself. It was all intertwined. Like you couldn't separate, you couldn't isolate one from the other. You are Napoli. That's it.
yeah,
That's your identity at that point. And with those 5,000 fans that were at Michigan, they were the loudest there for 90 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm walking all around Ann Arbor. Sereno can solidify this too. Everyone and their mother had a Messi jersey on. They couldn't name me who was on the reserve bench. I could have named you everyone who was on the medical staff at that time. That's the difference between these fans, right? So it
I
really
mean, to be
is.
fair, there is diehard like other fans, but like I mean, to be a Napoli fan, like you can't just be a casual Napoli fan. Like you
yeah,
you are you are a diehard, or you are not a fan. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the nature of
Yeah,
just being a Napoli fan. It's
yeah,
it's like, and the city is like how Carmen said, it's the same. The city and the team is a singular. It's one. Like so,
yeah,
if you're passionate about Napoli, you're passionate about being Neapolitan and the city of Naples. It's just yeah, it's very hard to put in words, but we all kind of have this same like I don't want to say
identity.
sickness because sickness like is kind of like it's like a
It's like a
bad word,
Napoli's
but
our
like
drug.
I don't think it's a
it's like
bad
a
way to
drug.
say it.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
it's
Napoli's our drug.
It's a
For this.
sickness. Yeah, like we are like the club is very important in our lives. Like it's our
yeah,
like it's like a personality trait at this point.
yeah. It
um,
honestly is.
We
yeah.
are in the
So
tally. We're Napolitan.
Yeah, man. Like, and
yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but when I try to explain this to people, and they're like, "So you let a soccer team like dictate your feelings?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." Like, if they lose on a Sunday, I am mad for the rest of the day and going into Monday. Like this is,
I'm mad till the next time we play.
yeah. Like it's just who you become after a while for becoming a diehard fanatic. And let me tell you this, right? We're gonna get into the weekly recap. By the way, thank you, Danny, for sharing your experience. It's always nice to hear, what it means to be a fan in the city and how you became a fan and where we can go from here on out, right?
Yeah.
But going on what I was saying, right? Let's go with a little weekly recap. Oh, we have another comment here from Pasquale. Hold on. Before I get into that, really regret not going to the game in Michigan. I was traveling to St. Paul at the time and should have just made it happen. You know what? It's fine. I honestly think that Napoli is going to come back to North America
I hope
because
so.
Insigne is currently in Toronto. He's going to Toronto, so they will probably do another thing maybe in North America. So Pasquale, don't worry about it. There's going to be many opportunities, and who knows? Maybe
Maybe
maybe we go there, right? Maybe we plan a trip and go there as North Americans. So
That would
there's
be
always
awesome.
that'd be sick.
it would be awesome.
Like a
Never say
Napoli,
never.
North America, like
DNA
contingency.
takeover.
Yeah,
It could happen. It could happen.
NA and you can call it the NA takeover.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. I like it. But yeah, never say never. Who knows? But with that being said, FDV weekly recap. We are going to recap the last couple of games. So that would be I'm going to do Inter and Barcelona. Let's talk about those two games because my figado is still hurting right now. So
Your what?
what do you want to? My figado, my liver,
Oh, your fingers.
my liver's killing me right now because of these games. What do you want to start with? Do you want to go easy or do you want to go hard first?
Hmm.
Because they're both kind of hard. But which one do
Yeah.
you want to go hard with first? Do you want
I mean, I'm actually
Barcelona?
happy with the Barcelona result.
Yeah, that one
Let's
like
go with Barcelona first. Let's ease into it because
okay.
Inter, I have a lot to say.
Yeah,
I think we all do. So FTV recap. Danny, we're gonna let you go first. What do you think about the Barca game?
Yeah. For the Barca game, I said too earlier on the when we recorded the Six Eye podcast earlier this morning.
Yeah,
I said I thought Napoli played a pretty good first half. We got the goal. That was huge.
yep.
Beautiful run by Elmas. Sent Jordi Alba back to the stands. And Von Zelensky where tapped on the rebound after a nice save by uh, Ter Stegen. And I thought Napoli were defending Traore well. Didn't allow him to use his pace to create chances. Jesus guy was playing lights out this game. And even Insigne too, I gotta give him credit. He helped out a lot. Koulibaly, again, we can't say a bad thing about this guy. This guy's top three in the world for a reason, and I think he's top two. Personally, I think he's a
He's
top
not
two
number
center back.
two. He's top
I
two, but
think
not
I
number two.
think top two. I don't want to spark the Liverpool fans and have hate
No,
towards
spark him.
here.
I don't care. He's number one. I don't
I
care.
think, yeah, you know what? Him and Van Dijk very close, but uh, to Napoli's sake, I really like the way we played, and up to the penalty shot, really, I thought we were playing really pretty well. And then once the penalty shot happened, which is questionable, it's just whatever at this point. We allowed Barca's midfield to take over, and that was one thing we couldn't let happen because if Barca's midfield takes over, they got guys like Gavi who played phenomenal. Pedri's a very good player. De Jong's an excellent young midfielder as well. Once we let that happen, and it was just we got into this shell that we started defending, and it's a shell that Napoli shouldn't be really in because we're not known for a defending team, and we just let Barca get in. Luckily, Torres missed God knows how many chances, or else we could have been 4-1 down heading into the second leg, and Napoli needed to wake up, maybe make a few adjustments for the second leg, and I don't know, like maybe this might be a hot take. Second leg, I wouldn't start Anguissa or Lobotka. I would drop Zelinski in and then put maybe Elmas at cam and start Mertens. Go all out for this game because if we allow Barcelona to take over and control the game, it's gonna be a long game for us.
Yeah, Sede, anything to add to that?
I think we're being hard on Napoli a little bit because you're never like Barcelona like is yeah, I know they don't have Messi, but they're still a great team and
Yeah,
with
they still got good players.
under Xavi they've gotten a lot better and they've also made some big signings in January. You're never gonna outpossess them. And even in the first half, we didn't outpossess them. Like Barca's style, the Spanish style is possession and passing and tiki taka. You're never gonna outdo them at that game. So Napoli knew very well that they were gonna not have a lot of the ball, and they played well considering that. They probably could have, if they were, taking advantage more of their opportunities, they probably could have had a few goals. But mind you, getting one was good. I think the penalty didn't really change the style, but I think like the style of not like what Napoli was trying to do, but obviously they kind of started like armadilloing, like just
Yeah,
not being as brave because they wanted to preserve at least a result, right? So that's I think that
Mhm.
was their mentality, and plus like in the first half they had energy. Playing without the ball is super tiring. Like they were, which they had the energy in the first half to when they had their possession to counter and they made a few chances, but in the second half, like I mean, they're chasing the ball so much. Like how you expect them to go out and then go out and try to attack? Like it was a little bit
Yeah.
unrealistic. But I thought they played that game well. Obviously, in this competition now, there's no away goal rule, so
yeah,
last year a 1-1 result would have been like a really really good result to get away at the Camp Nou, but now it's not a bad result, but you still gotta like win your game in Napoli, which I feel like you always kind
Yeah.
of had to anyways. But yeah, no, I'm a little bit sour with the referee, but other than that, I think Napoli played a well fought game, and at the end of the day, that's all we want. Barca's not a shit team, so a 1-1 at the Camp Nou is a fantastic result in my opinion, actually. So I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not too hard on
Yeah.
them for that game.
Okay. Well, I thought I think we are kind of hard on them. I was hard on them for sure because you have the lead, right? You're going into the half with the lead. They come out and they get a very questionable penalty call. I'm going to be honest with you. Th- Technically, yes, it's a penalty. Technically. But what the fuck? Come on. Really? Really? Koulibaly's fingernail really
no, not
changed?
even
Juan
Koulibaly,
Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus, just
Oh,
If
like
it's
Juan
Juan
Jesus
Jesus.
if Juan Jesus got a manicure in the morning, it wouldn't have been a penalty.
You're really telling me Jesus's fingernail made a difference in the trajectory of that ball? The ball
I
didn't move. Are you
think
kidding me? Really? Again? It always happens.
Okay, I'll continue.
And don't
Uh,
worry, hold on. I got it. Don't worry about it. It's done. I got it. Don't worry about it. Always, every time we record, somebody has to call. I have to turn off this phone. Anyways, um, like
leave it off the
seriously,
line.
looking back on that replay, I know you're gonna say, but Carm, he touches the ball with his hand. It's a penalty. He touched the with by the skin of his teeth. He touched that ball. He barely made contact with it. And also, you're saying it's in an unnatural position. What am I supposed to run with my arms behind my back?
defending the
He's
fist now,
turning.
but
To
He's
be
he's
fair,
turning.
Carm,
He's
like
turning.
to be fair, Juan Jesus should have had his arms tucked in a little bit more.
No, but today he's
Like when you're
turning.
defending a
The ball
cross
is
like that,
turning
you
around.
your arm should be
yeah,
tucked behind your back, dude. Like
Yeah,
have you
but
ever
it's
seen like Di Lorenzo on the other side? Like when he's defending, like whenever a cross is coming in, his arms always like to the side when he's trying to block it. Like Juan Jesus, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he's not a natural like left back, but I mean, yeah, it was pretty harsh to give, especially considering like a player or two before, um, Ozyman got like I don't know, like 619,
football
like in
tackles.
the in
yeah.
Yeah,
6
By the
yard
way, right
box,
here, Pasquale just said it
and
right here.
Bar did not even stop to look at it. So, um,
Exactly. Exactly. And
The
Pasquale
fact
says
that
right here,
VAR pointed out that penalty, but then they didn't point out the other one is what I'm more.
It's like a minute and a
It's
half
different if the
later. Like
referee
a minute and
sees
a half
it.
later.
but you're
Yeah, I
right,
know.
and this is what I'm going to get to. So Pasquale says it here. How is that a penalty when Ozyman gets assaulted in the box? I get if you ever say it wasn't near, but okay. But I get if you say if it wasn't near the okay, but if so, then Jesus' hand didn't change the trajectory. You're right. That's my point. Jesus' hand did not change the trajectory of the ball. The ball was still going in the direction it was going to go in, regardless of him touching it by his fingernail or not. And then the ref plays on. Okay, naturally, VAR has to relook at the thing, so they play on. Napoli's in the attacking half now. The ball isn't out of play. The ball is not out of play, is another fact. He stops the play in the middle, goes to hear what VAR is saying, and then goes to check. He doesn't wait for the ball to get out of play. He does it in the middle of an attack in their end, which is already one thing that already pissed me off. Then the second thing is Ozyman's foul in the box. But, like, come on. Eric
Give it a
Garcia.
look.
The best thing is that Eric Garcia, you see it in the video.
Look at it. Yeah, you're right.
Eric Garcia is looking at the ball, and then he looks at Ozyman, and then just disregards the ball and just grabs Ozyman and pulls him down. Like, come on, that's not a penalty. And
Wait till
anywhere else. What's that?
His jersey, like to begin the second half, he couldn't wait till after.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, it's just ridiculous that, and then they get 6 minutes of added time, which I don't know. They pulled 6 minutes out of their ass, I guess.
They got you.
Like,
They got Juve time.
They got Juve time. They legit got Juve time.
Barcelona got Juve time, and yeah, like I guess
like there was nothing.
You're up there, the Juve, I guess maybe.
There was nothing to suggest 6 minutes of added time.
No,
maybe 4 minutes.
I thought maybe there was 4 or 5, but like
maybe
6, and then what? Fabian was maybe a minute and a half to like get
played like
patched
close
up,
to
and
9
then they
minutes.
played until 8. They played like another 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? What the hell is that? Seriously? If you're gonna cheat, at least make it believable. I'm gonna be honest with you here. There was
What
some
did Drogba
instances where
What did Drogba say? Second, like I want to see someone like Mertens or Insigne go. This is incredible. What is Drogba when
It's
Chelsea
a
played
disgrace.
Barca?
It's
Oh,
a
it's great.
This is a disgrace. Just have Jose Mourinho go like this in the middle of the
Spalletti, you see Spalletti.
look, they still couldn't score in open play.
Exactly.
So I think Napoli did very well defensively, and obviously Koulibaly was a rock. This is like his second like big performance, like in like
Coming back
less than a
from
week.
AFCON too.
Yeah, dude, like masterclass against Inter, masterclass against Barcelona. Koulibaly, like he's
Yeah.
But he's been doing that all season. It's just we tend to
Yeah.
forget because he's been hurt. He's been with the Senegal. He's been doing it
but
all season.
guys,
Guy's a rock.
irreplaceable. He's like I think the only irreplaceable player on Napoli. Like when he goes,
Tough.
those are some big shoes to fill. Like I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like he makes us look a lot better than we are. Like without him, I mean, mind you, we've managed without him, but
Yeah.
Not like
he takes
to
us like a
standard.
step above, man. Like I just feel so much calmer when he's in the lineup. But yeah, no, he's
I agree, man.
amazing.
regardless-
I don't have enough words to describe how good he is.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with you guys here. That was defensively solid. Can't go wrong with that, man. They've been solid the past couple of games, and Koulibaly winning the AFCON and coming back. Literally, he was already to me he was already the best defender in the world, and now it's just sealed that like the performances that he's put up. I tweeted it today. I'm like, the fact that you can make a 2-minute compilation every single time this guy steps onto the field says something about him. Come on.
I know, dude.
Yeah,
that
no,
tackle
it's-
against that Traore, even though it was
Traore
outside, that
I
was
think he was. I
nuts.
think Traore was on, but I think Aubameyang, the follow after, was off.
Doesn't matter. Traore's fast, and he caught up to him, and then made a tackle and took the ball from right underneath his feet. Not 9 out of 10
No.
defenders make that tackle. They get a red card, and it's a penalty shot.
Or they don't even catch up to
Or
Traore.
they don't catch up to him. If it's Harry Maguire, he's already running back to the bench. He's not even
Maguire's
gonna
already
try-
out of the stadium.
He's waiting. Maguire's waiting for the kickoff at the center.
Yeah, he's not going to stop trying. Like, the things that the like, and you've seen it too. This is not like a one-time occasion.
Well, he
Oh,
does
Where
it every game, man.
he does it
Every
every
game.
game.
against the Inter, he made he made 2 tackles in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. That was he made two
That
tackles. Yeah,
was
that's right. One
that
on
was
Dumfries and one
massive.
on I can't remember who it was, but
Maybe
like two tackles
Martinez. I think it's
consecutively.
Martinez.
Probably, yeah. I
He's gotta
think you're
put some.
right. But
Everybody's got to put some respect on Koulibaly's name.
Oh,
oh
110%.
yeah,
Big time.
and here we go. Koulibaly has been unreal lately. He's always great, and he's on another level since winning Afcon. Koulibaly's always been another.
Hey,
Koulibaly,
motivation.
yeah, it's what it was.
He's on a level of his
Motivation.
own. To be honest,
Yeah, it's the best way to describe him is different gravy. Koulibaly is different gravy. He's not. He's not like any other defender.
And you
He
know
is
what?
level above.
And like just a point here too. Anguissa looks a little better. He looked a little
oh,
better this
Anguissa
game.
looks like
He did.
himself again. Yeah,
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
but
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
man.
You can
Koulibaly's
tell he's
also
still
go
he's
ahead.
still a step slow, Anguissa, but it seems like he's coming to the level he was before the
No, he
Afcon.
played a good game, Anguissa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
But
plays
one
some
thing we
remote.
don't talk about enough with Koulibaly is his he moves the ball very well too. Like he's like a facilitator back there. Like
Yeah.
he's almost like a trequartista. Like he like his passes are amazing. He'll switch the play. Like he's really good with his feet. He dribbles. Like he
Yep.
dribbled out a few times of trouble. Like
Yep.
last game, he's unreal. He's
Yeah,
He's
like
an
there's,
all
he's
around.
different
there's
grade.
times where Koulibaly's playing higher than Osimhen. Like he just
Yeah,
takes the ball and
a few
runs.
times he when he does those little runs up, like and he
Yeah.
like
It's like oh,
is a
like
winger
if I'm a
and
defender, I'm
he'll
like
put in the
oh,
box. He's nuts. Like he actually knows. Like he can actually dribble like pretty good. Like
Yep.
I don't know.
He's an all around. He's an all around
yeah.
guy.
All
He's
around
an all
player.
around defender, man. He's
Osimhen's
got
sorry,
everything.
Koulibaly's a yes person. Hey Koulibaly, you want to play center back? Yes. Want to play
Yes.
striker? Yes. Want to play right wing? Yes. Want to play goalkeeper? Yes.
He
We'll
would
play.
probably be a good goalkeeper too, to be
He
honest.
probably would. He probably would. He'd also probably be a better left back than Rui.
Yeah,
To be
man.
Let him
honest,
take penalties too. Who
Right.
cares?
but
He actually
yeah,
is
man,
pretty good at
Yeah, he's
penalties.
got good
he
penalties.
is.
made a
Yeah,
lot
he's
of
got
them.
good
Scored the penalty in
record.
the Afcon.
Scored. I remember the one penalty he scored in the Super Copa, I believe,
Super Copa.
against Juve.
Yeah, that too.
Dude,
That's
in
true.
the Afcon, he walked up. I think it was the first.
He was
He was
first
the
one.
first taker.
He walked up like a G, like gangster. Like he was like just slow walk, and he just
Yeah,
buried it and
And
slow.
cool. He, you know, some players he celebrate. He just turned around like it's a normal
Yeah,
thing. He did.
man.
and that's the thing, right, man? Like this guy's
Automatic.
got confidence. He's just so confident and calm, and just like he's an imposing figure when you look at him. You look at him, and this guy just spews like divinity, confidence, calmness.
Everything.
He's got everything, man. And it's just that's the qualities you have in a captain, which he's going to be the next captain.
Oh, 100%. If he's
Just seeing what he's able to do and doing it on a consistent basis and doing it against big teams like Barcelona, even though Barcelona is a little bit whatever this year, they're still a decent team. And going back to the
They
game
have
now,
great
you know,
players, man.
yeah,
yeah, a lot of great players.
they got a
Going
young
back to the
core.
game,
They got a very young core.
going back to the game, you know, defend well. They gave up 18 shots, which, you know, Ferran Torres is a Napoli fan. I'm convinced. He's a Napoli fan because this
We
guy
had the
is
same amount
sitters.
of shots on target, eh? Like, or I think maybe they
Yeah.
have 5. Yeah, they had 5. We had 4.
5. Yeah, it was the same thing. That's because
Yeah,
Ferran
5-5,
Torres
yeah.
he's either a Napoli fan at heart or he has 2 left feet because we should have lost in the last 15 minutes of that game. We should have lost maybe 5-1 or 6-1. It was
His
not.
finishing.
It was
It's
not
not,
close.
it's not a weird coincidence.
And
Dembele comes in, Rui comes in, and Napoli get dominated.
it's not a coincidence at all. And you know what? That's one thing that I did like about. I'm going to soon when we talk about the Inter game. I'm going to ream Spalletti because of his game management. And you know what? I'm going to ream him again right now because in the Barcelona game, he didn't make any changes until the 80th minute. What the fuck are you waiting for until the 80th minute? Does he just forget that he's like, oh yeah, I have a bench, let me use them now? Like what? Like
I
what's?
looked at his
what's the
bench and
strategy?
goes,
I mean, like
I
we
think
don't have
that's
bad
good.
players, but we don't have bad players. You can play people. Like, come on.
I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to like. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the guys that are on the bench are probably gonna start against Cagliari.
I
like a
think
few
so.
of them. I think like you're gonna see Mertens from the first minute. You'll
Catania
probably maybe
maybe.
see Demme like from the first minute. Like there's gonna be some rotation, but I mean, like I said, I don't think Napoli like after they conceded, they weren't brave. Like they lost their bravery, which I'll forgive them against Barcelona because we ended up getting a draw. But if we want to segue into the Inter game, that second half was
That was terrible.
terrible.
Let's do it.
You're at
Let's do it.
home.
Go
You're
ahead.
at home. You're this is a match at the top of the table, which if you win, you are first place.
Speaking of the
Throw
table,
some
one second. Let me
freaking
pull up the
balls
table
and
right
go for it. Like that's the game you go for it. A tie. I mean, I guess you could argue a loss, and we're totally maybe out of the title race. But a win, and
Just
you are
you're
the
there.
title race. Like you know what I'm saying? Like be brave. And I don't think that it was a far stretch to believe that Napoli could have maybe won that game if they brought on Mertens and ran Mertens with Osimhen believed in themselves a little bit more. Were a little bit more brave. I feel like they could have won that game because Inter didn't play terrible, but I don't think Inter was super dangerous. Their goal was a broken play, and that was it. Like it's not like they were
Yeah.
killing us.
And
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they gotta believe in themselves a little bit more. And we talk. It's funny because Paletti talks about uomini forti, destini forti, but I mean, you're telling me that that was a strong mentality, like you were deboli. You were now you guys were uomini deboli, and you are lucky that you didn't lose that game because as soon as you start playing for a draw, you're way more prone to lose games than if you actually play for a win, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree.
And then just to top it off, that last play, God, I see it on friggin' Twitter all the time, where that free kick doesn't get swung into the box; it gets passed back in the
It's like they
95th
wanted to play.
minute of 5 minutes of added time in the second half. Carmine almost broke a table at the Bar
Yeah.
Cafe. But yeah, no, that was just the cherry on top of that second half. But
I was gonna
what
see
can you do? We move.
what type of cookie Napoli wanted
I know
after that
Carmen
play.
is having PTSD right now.
It's Danny go because I'm about to blow up. Danny go.
No, even yeah, no, I agree. Like at
Lagging
home,
a little bit.
like oh, I am.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay,
He's good. He's good. He's good. Don't worry about it. Go.
okay. No, like
Maybe I'm
even
lagging.
like at home, like Napoli, the last few results, like they haven't really looked themselves at home. Like before Napoli at home, they were it was our fortress, you can say. The last few games, it's like okay, Napoli are barely getting a win. They're not playing their best, and I want to take it even a step further. Even Venezia too. We didn't play our best game against Venezia, and I remember we were saying, oh, we need to make a lot of adjustments if we want to beat Inter. For me, we got worse against Inter, and against Barcelona, like we got a little bit better, but still not the Napoli that we all know that they can beat. But the Inter game, yeah, it was a tough one to swallow, especially taking an early lead and then just a broken play, like sort of said, a goal for Inter, and find ourselves drop. You can say we dropped 2 points. I know it's Inter, and anytime you can tie against Inter, it's a good result. But if we want to be Scudetto winners, that's a game we need to win, especially at home, and especially the way that we played. The second half was, I think, our men's league team played better a couple of games ago than Napoli did. Like, and we're just getting used to each other. These guys have been playing the whole year, and they couldn't string a pass together. That free kick was horrendous. Karma, like, I don't blame you for breaking the table. If I was home, I probably would have broken my TV.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
That was brutal.
this
It
is
was
going
brutal.
to like. I'm trying to collect my thoughts here because I'm still pissed about that game, and that's like almost 2 weeks ago now. I'm still pissed, like beyond pissed about it. You're at home. You go out in the 7th minute, and you're awarded a penalty, clean penalty. It's no argument that it's not a penalty. Okay, Insigne steps up, he takes the penalty, and then you dominate for the rest of the half. Fine, I'm okay with that. Everything's perfect. The 46th, 7th minute, in the 46th or 47th minute, they come out and they get an unlucky goal. All right, we can just call it as it is. It's a goal, but it's an unlucky goal nonetheless. Fine, we can live with it. But Jesus Christ, what do you do after that goal? It's like it's like they got castrated. It's like
Yeah.
they got castrated.
Even
They
against Barca
have
too.
no balls to take any initiative and change the game. None of them. Not one person had the balls to go out and change the game.
Even
That's
Barca
what
too.
pisses, but that's what pisses me off the most, man. And it's not like we were playing a horrible game. We had 10 shots, 4 on target. We were controlling the possession. We limited down to what? 1 or 2 shots on target, one of them being a fluke and it was a goal. You're controlling the game. Why? Why do you just piss it away? If you can rationalize why you would piss away a game that you are controlling, maybe I'm okay with it. I cannot stand the fact that they let Inter back into the game and they were okay with just saying, you know what, guys, do whatever you want. We're okay here. We're okay at a tie. No, you're not okay at a tie. You are not okay at a tie because you win that game. You now take first place and you're above points on anyone else. Now look at the situation we're in right now. Milan's at 55, Inter's at 54, Napoli's at 53. You can argue, okay, Carmen, we're still 2 points away from the Scudetto. From taking first place and possibly winning the Scudetto. What's wrong? Would you not rather be in this position rather than just risking something and maybe it turns out in another way? No, risk it. I want to see you risk it because at the end of the day, I'm fine. I can accept the fact that we actually tried. I can accept the fact that you went on the pitch and you did everything that you can to pull out a result, to show me that you cared, to show me that you really wanted to change something, but you didn't. Now, I get it. I'm a risky person. I sometimes take more risks than anyone else. Maybe that's just my mentality. Some other people might think that they don't want to take that risk. They just want to hold that position. But now look at what you're faced with. Who does Inter play? They play Sassuolo. Maybe they can draw points there, but they rarely do. They play Genoa. They play Salernitana. Torino could be a tough game. Fiorentina could be a tough game. We need them to lose 2 games left. We need them to lose 2 games or draw points in some way.
And they have a game in hand too.
So why are we letting
and we have to win our games?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we got tough games coming up too. So this game was a perfect.
Lazio. Who do you have coming up? We have Lazio, Milan.
Still Fiorentina. I think another game against
Fiorentina. We do. And look at what Pasquale says here. Pasquale agrees. I'd rather lose the Scudetto because we lost points off a match from a counterattack rather than settling for ties. I don't think I'd rather lose a Scudetto off the fact because of that. But it's still 13 games left in the season, right? Anything could happen with 13 games left in the season.
And if we won that game,
why not?
Okay, guys, if we win every game, we'll win the Scudetto. That's all we got to worry about.
But isn't that the problem? Yeah. But isn't that the problem right there? We're not going to win every game. We're not. That's just the reality of the situation.
Who knows? Yeah, no.
Never say never.
I think I could.
I think we worry. I think we worry about too much about what other teams are doing. I know I get it's important now, but also that's why you should have went all out and beat. You should be trying your hardest on what you can control. You have the team that's first place in your barn playing, in your turf.
And they have everything to play for.
Sorry?
They have everything to play for. In fact, they were okay with a tie.
That's a great result for them. A tie was a fantastic result away at Napoli.
They were doing cartwheels in the locker room, they tied with us.
But Napoli also the stadium is there's no ultras though. I think there's only one side ultras. It's not and I know COVID and restrictions and things like that, but
I know they said tomorrow, hopefully, I'm pretty sure it's true, 75%.
75%. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, it's 75%, but I don't think the ultras are fully back. I think they're still only going to away games. So that's a big factor, man. Napoli having 2 ultras, we're one of the only teams that have ultras on both sides. I'm
Yeah.
saying like
Yeah. You need them
that
both
adds to the environment.
be
Like um, it's
But
hard. It's
here's
tough
the
about them.
yeah, that's fine. I get it. But here's the thing, said I know. Okay, you're still at home. It doesn't negate the fact that you're still at home controlling a game,
I
and
know,
then
but
you just
it does add a more hostile. Like Napoli used to be such a hard place to play because the
play. Yeah,
environment was
it
just
used to be our
hot.
fortress, like a fortress,
Like it
where
was
yeah.
teams
just
would
a
be
hostile
scared to
place
come
to
in.
play.
But like, man,
I
it
get it.
just
You're at home. You should still win,
you should still
regardless.
win.
But
It's a
it
winnable
does
game.
like add to the maybe giving a boost to the team. But
What made it worse for me was the game management. That's what made
yeah,
it worse for
Spalletti
me
fucked up. Yeah, he fucked up.
because Spalletti fumbled the bag like I've never seen somebody fumble the bag before in my life. He waits until the 70 something minute to put on a couple of changes that had no impact at all. All right. He takes off Ozyman in the 82nd or 83rd minute.
Yeah, around that time.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
For what
Just let him
reason?
play.
Just let him play 7 more minutes. He can give you 7 more minutes. Why take him off? And then not only the fact that you're taking off Ozyman,
You don't
you're
even bring in
putting on
Pitania.
you don't even put in Petagna. Like you put on small bodies, you put on Mertens and Unas, and then you change to a 3-5-2, playing long ball to Mertens and Unas, who have a combined height of 3 feet. Like, where's the logic here? Where's the logic in all of this?
Nowhere to be found.
It's not logical.
Dude, Mertens has to play with Ozyman, dude.
Yeah.
The few times I've ever seen them play together,
Where is it? Look at
they've
Pasquale.
cooked.
Look at Pasquale's been like calling it out all night.
Like they've cooked like some good sauce together, man. Like to be honest, my starting attack for Napoli would be. I mean, Zelinski's been good at cam too. Don't get me wrong, but I would
would you
love to
drop him
see.
back?
I would love to see Mertens as a cam, Ozyman striker, with Insigne and Lozano on the wings. Like that attack is
It's fine.
just speed and dangerous.
Creativity. Yeah.
So
You have
like,
creativity, you have directness. Lozano gives you speed. He's a good passer. Mertens is such a creative player that he probably is gonna like pull defenders towards him, make space for Ozyman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a different dynamic with both of them on the field. So I don't know why Spalletti never tries it. Maybe he just doesn't. He probably just doesn't trust Mertens defensively. That's probably what it boils down to. But
it doesn't matter. Okay, so going back to the Inter match, I said this at the club. All right, if Spalletti actually gave a shit and actually wanted to win the game and try, why not put on Mertens? You put on Petagna. You put on who was on? Let me see the subs here.
I think
It was
on
Anguissa.
Elmas too.
Elmas was right wing.
Elmas
Yeah,
was right
I would have took Elmas off, to be honest.
I would have
Yeah,
taken Elmas off too.
Terrible.
Even though
just
you
throw
subbed
it
them
up
on, I
here.
would have subbed them off still.
Here we go. So he puts on Elmas on right wing, but he had to because Politano's hurt. That's fine. Puts on Anguissa at the 74th, Juan Jesus at 84th for Zielinski, Mertens for Ozyman, and Unas for Insigne. All right. Why not just switch it up for a 4-1-2-1-2 or a 4-3-1-2? Put on Petagna with Ozyman. Mertens gets on at cam. You bring Elmas back, and then you can still have a midfield three. And that just supports everything. Now you have two big bodies. One of them Speedy Gonzalez, the other one's a bulldozer. No one's getting the ball off of him. You have a creative attacking midfielder, and you use your your fullbacks as wing backs to push up the field. Like that would probably get you a goal, and especially on the last free kick when you have Petagna and Ozyman and Anguissa and Koulibaly and Ramani all in the box.
Just at that point, even with the guys that they had on, just put the ball in the box. You don't know what happens. Chaos.
Exactly.
A no goal could happen. Like someone.
Look what happened against Juve when we played Juve. Like it was the most random loose ball. Keane headed the ball right to freaking Koulibaly, and boom, we win the game. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that was a blown opportunity. Like you probably could have even got the goalie to come up and kick the ball. Like to be honest, at that point, like it was at the time was done.
it was the last second. It was the last kick of the
The
game.
last kick of the
And
match.
they passed. It was like that moment with LeBron and J.R. Smith. He's just like pointing
It's
in
like,
the direction. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? It's common sense.
Yep.
I've coached a couple teams, right? And I've always said, guys, when in doubt, if we're losing and we're in the attacking half, throw the ball in the box
just
because
kick Hail
anything can
Mary. Who
happen.
cares?
Anything can happen, especially in the last minutes of the game. People get flustered. They're tired. A ball takes a weird bounce. The goalie mishandles a ball. Anything can happen.
Who knows? Koulibaly gets his head on it all the time in
Exactly.
these last minutes.
90th minute, 2017, April of 2017. What happened? Tied 0-0 to Juve away. You throw the ball in the box. Boom.
You gotta
Koulibaly is there to
believe.
take it home.
This team
Like-
doesn't. The Spalletti, if the coach doesn't believe, how you expect the players to believe?
And
Yeah.
that's what made it worse, is that he showed the team that that's what pissed me off the most, is that he said everything was fine that game. Everything wasn't fine that game. Something had to change. I hear Diego in the
First half
background
was
there. But yeah, that's the thing. He conveyed a message saying this is fine. It's not fine. This to me was a do or die moment to really bring it back to Inter and not lose more points than necessary. And they messed it up. To me,
Yeah,
they messed it up. I'm pissed off about it. But with that being said, that was the recap. Let's do a report card. Let's do a little report card here.
Sure.
So here's a weekly report card. Danny, with all this considered between Inter and Barcelona, what grade do you give them?
I give them maybe a B minus.
B
The
minus.
Barcelona result was good. It's a result you need. Like I think it was a 50. Yeah, I would say it's more 60-40. I was satisfied with it. The Inter game, I was very disappointed. I know it's Inter. I know it's a tough team to get even just a point against. But the way that we played and the way that we just had the lead, conceded it, and we didn't bounce back. We were just like, it was like we were scared to attack and give it our all. That game is the reason why it's a B minus. Or else I would say if maybe Napoli played well and we got the tie, I would say okay, shit happens. I would give it a B, but just because of the Inter game and the way that we performed, and also the after the penalty shot too with Barca, like the way we just went to the shell, that's why it's a B minus for me.
Yep. All right, Sida, what's your report card here?
I mean, probably C plus.
Okay.
C plus.
C
Yeah,
plus.
I think C plus is fair. Barcelona game, I thought was a good. I thought they played well. I mean, second half they were burnt out, but it's understandable. Like, Barcelona is going to be a team that's going to tire you out just because of their style. But
Yeah, and it's always
Inter-
Barcelona too.
the Inter game is like a D, and that's
Yeah.
what brought the mark down. Like the Inter game was bad. The second half was very frustrating, and just we were expecting like a party almost, like we're going to be first place, and then we're just disappointed by that second half performance. So yeah, I think C plus is fair. So you could say needs improvement. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
so that's my grade.
Yeah. D plus.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember Frank said I was an easy marker last time we did the weekly report card. I had to up my standards a bit. It's a D plus. It's not good. And the reason why it's a D plus is because Spalletti got literally way below an F in game management to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, big time.
That's what really brought it down. Other than that, the defense gets an A. I have no
Oh,
problem
yeah.
with defense.
Koulibaly
Defense
gets an
A plus. Koulibaly gets a passing grade.
Koulibaly could be the teacher. I don't
He
care.
can teach the course for all I care. He can do that.
Even Di Lorenzo has been playing.
played okay.
We never,
They
nobody ever talks about him, but he's been fantastic too.
Yeah,
Di Lorenzo's always been a consistently good player.
I would always say he's 8 out of 10. Di Lorenzo,
Yeah,
7.5, 8 out of 10 all the time.
exactly. So like the defense is fine. It's an A. You only concede one goal versus Inter and Barcelona. Fine, take it. It's an A plus. It's an A plus. The midfield was okay. Midfield was like a C plus, B minus sort of thing. It wasn't like spectacular, but they really lost control during the Inter game. and that really brings their mark down a little bit. The attack also, C plus, B minus, not a lot going on. It wasn't like spectacular like the midfield, but it was enough to maybe pull the result. Where they really messed up was game management, and that is like I don't even think I can give a grade. Like it's just like it's incomplete. It's not sufficient. It's not
And
really
needs improvement.
needs improvement. No, it's not even needs
Needs
improvement. It's
a
more like
lot of
see
improvement.
me after class. What the fuck is going on? That's what that is. It's a see me after class because this is like I don't know. I just usually I can piece together what they're thinking. Maybe I can get an idea as to like, oh, I understand why he's doing this. Okay, carry on. I couldn't understand anything that was going on in the second half of the Inter game. I couldn't understand some of what was going on during Barcelona. Apart from the fact that, Barcelona is a tough team. It's always going to be a little bit, you know, tough. But against Inter in a game you win and the changes he made and all that sort of like it's just everything. It's like below an F. I don't even know if there is a below an F. Somebody fact check that.
No,
If it's below an F, I don't think there is. Maybe there is.
kick out of school if that's the case.
I think there's like E or I or something like that. Like that's the grade he gets because that was just ridiculous. I
After
expect
that,
so
you
much
get kicked
more.
out.
Honestly, yeah, get kicked out of the program. This is just it's just ridiculous. But I gave a D plus. Uh, I think Sereno said C minus,
See,
Yeah, I said
C
see,
no,
plus, so
C
C
plus
plus.
plus. I said B minus. No, I think I was a
B
little
minus and C plus. I got
lazy.
them mixed up. All right, so Danny got a B plus. Oh no, B
B
minus.
minus.
Sereno gave a C plus. I gave a D plus. Guys, let us know about your weekly report card. What grade do you give the team for the Inter and Barcelona match? And while you start tabulating your scores and start thinking of what you're going to put, let's just get a little preview on the upcoming matches. So we got Cagliari, Barca again, and then Lazio. Danny, what do you think about these matches?
They're all big matches. I know the Cali match is gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be it's not gonna be easy. I think it might be one of our toughest matches up to date. Just because we have to prepare for Barca, it's gonna be a big second leg, especially at the Maradona, and Cali too. They're trying to play to stay in Serie A, and they're gonna play us tough. We might be resting some players, so usually right there that gives you a sign that it's not gonna be an easy match. And then after Barca, we got Lazio, who either on their given day they could be a great, very good team, or they could be crap. We've seen it times where they look like they can beat anyone in the league, and then we've seen it in times where they don't look like the Lazio that we a lot of people expect them to be. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting too because they play Thursday against Porto, who are 2-1 up going to the Olimpico, and they're gonna be maybe who knows if they're gonna be fatigued because they gotta give it their all, and Napoli too, they gotta give it their all if they want to advance in the Europa League and go far. So these three games right now they're gonna be tough, and let's hope Napoli can pick up 3 wins out of 3.
Danny, here's my question to you. And then I'm going to give this to Sorrento too as a question after he gives us his thoughts on the upcoming games. Do you, at this point, say, screw the Europa League, let's just focus on the Scudetto?
No, I
No.
want. You know what? If a team like Napoli, I think you need to go for every competition you're in. I think we're at the stage now where Scudetto's not. We're not given to be contenders for Scudetto, and in Europa League too. We're one of the biggest teams in Europa League. And I feel like I think we're one of the favorites as well. So for me, you need to go out there, use your squad because we have a deep squad this time. I feel like that's not one thing like we're used to saying. We have guys that can play it. We have a second team almost as well. So I feel like you need to just rotate the squad for Kennedy. Don't start all your backups. Put a few backups here and there. Maybe like a Patania could start. Mertens could go for a couple, maybe 65 to 70 minutes, and then take them off if depending if we're winning. Elmas could potentially start again. Deme, I feel like he can play maybe play Jesus or play Rui, if anything, and save Jesus for Barca, and maybe a Mokwi at right back. Just don't switch up a lot, but also to give some guys who might not be able to play, who might not play Thursday, give them this game too. Just rotate, and just go out and try to win both.
All right. Sede, go ahead.
I mean, starting with Kagiri, that's looks like a trap match.
Yeah,
It's like on paper, like I see that as a game that we are gonna have a lot of problems, especially if we rotate. I mean, it'll be interesting to see just the mentality that the team has going into that game. Like, I really hope that they. I mean, I have a strong feeling that they'll probably start like guns a blazing, try to get a lead, and then coast and
yeah.
maybe do
Second
some
half.
substitutions. That's what, like, if I was a coach, that's what I would do. I'd play your strongest lineup, try to get a multi-goal lead, and then substitutions, sub your big guys off, and put guys that are still capable, but kind of just uh, take it easy. And then Barca's going to be a tough match. I know everyone's thinking, oh, okay, we're at home. Barca's going to have the ball. It's going to be
Yeah, they're gonna come out.
it's going to be very similar to the first leg, but again, hopefully Spalletti has a good game plan. Hopefully Osimhen is feeling much better, because I think I was reading that he's got a little bit of a tweak with his knee that he's been trying to play through. So I think they should maybe rest him on Monday, and then let him cook against Barcelona. He wasn't like the last game against Barcelona. He didn't really look like himself. So maybe
Yep.
a little bit of rest would be good for him. And then Lazio is kind of like a big question mark, because sometimes they can at home they don't play too bad, but sometimes they are unbelievable, and sometimes they are unbelievable for the wrong reasons. So this is a tough stretch. This is probably the toughest stretch. And then if you're looking ahead even further to the Milan match, this is probably like our toughest stretch of the whole season. So I think they got to be mentally tough. But realistically, I hope that they win all three. Like, I mean, I think they can, but it's gonna come down to Spalletti and how he manages the games.
And that's where Spalletti comes into play. That's where he comes in. His
He's got to
experience
figure
in
out
games.
how to field a team that can win each game and have a game plan for each game. So let's see. But Napoli's fitness is also a big X factor too, because it seems like Armin could probably talk forever about this. It seems like our coaches or our staff or our fitness management is absolutely terrible, because
Our medical staff is butt cheeks. They are literal butt cheeks. I don't know what they do there.
The amount of muscular injuries that this team has had the last few seasons is unbelievable. I remember we had like the least amount of injuries like in the whole league at a point when what was the doctor's name? Di Nicola. When he was in charge of the medical staff, we barely had any injuries. So they're definitely not doing something right.
He still posts about Napoli, so
I think he's in Dubai now, or Saudi Arabia, some Arab country.
Just for context, Inter's medical staff consists of about 10 to 12 doctors and physiotherapists. Napoli's is 5.
Fun.
5. One of them is an MD.
Super fun. What was the last question that you asked Danny that you were going to ask me? If you prioritize,
do you prioritize Scudetto, or do you try to go for both?
I'll try to go for both, to be honest.
Okay.
Because honestly, like we've done the whole let's crap out of Europa League and go for the Scudetto and then not win the Scudetto, and then you end up with nothing.
Yeah.
Might as well try hard in both, in my opinion.
Exactly.
And I think
especially if Napoli win one of them, it means a lot. Like
and it's not the same. Exactly, and it's not the same. When Napoli had Sarri, we only had 11 players pretty much. So it's not the same. We actually use our bench, so I think we can be competitive in both those competitions. So I don't think you.
And don't forget
Europa League for Scudetto. I don't think you do that yet.
Yeah, and I just just hit me now too. I think Twanzebe might be available for the Kennedy match. Even
Okay.
Gulam. I
I
could be
forgot we
wrong.
signed him, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it just hit me because I go. He wasn't with at the Barcelona. He wasn't on the bench for Barcelona,
Yeah.
and I'm like, he
He
had a
wasn't
back
called
injury.
up.
Yeah, and he had a back injury too against Inter. So
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we see him.
He's not in the Europa League squad. They
No,
didn't put him
No,
on
no,
the
he
list.
didn't make it. He didn't make it to that. So, but yeah, out of these three, and by the way, Pasquale agrees with you guys. Go for both. Yeah, you need that winning mentality. Okay, I can see it going for both, getting that winning mentality for sure. I have a differing opinion, but before I get into that, what do you out of this stretch here? So that's 9 points. What do you think? What do you think we get out of nine?
okay, 9 points. I don't know. Okay, Barcelona. I'm not gonna say points. I'm just gonna use that as a win. I think we go. I personally think 3-0, but realistically, maybe we might drop points to maybe Lazio or something. I feel like the Lazio game might be a tough one.
Today?
I think we're gonna win. We're gonna beat Cagliari. We're gonna beat Lazio. Barcelona is gonna be a tie, and we're gonna go to a penalty shootout, and we're gonna win in a penalty shootout
Ooh.
because I want everybody to suffer.
Interesting. 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 All right. Well, I'm gonna give
Sub
Penalty
me
my
in
shootout.
for penalty shootouts.
So I'm not worried about Lazio. I'm just going to say that right up front. Lazio is not a team that scares me. We often will beat Lazio 3-4-0. I'm just going to go off history and say that we can probably beat them again 3-4-0. That's just how we are against Lazio. So I'm going to say I'm not worried about them. I'm a little bit worried about Barca, but I'm not terribly worried about Barca. I'm more worried of the fact that we play Barca 3 days before Lazio. So whatever happens in that game. So if Sereno says we go and do extra time and penalty shootouts, Lazio is going to be for sure drop points because we're going to be dead tired. But they might also be dead tired too because they played Porto
And
and
they don't score at all because of
yeah,
that.
Listen,
and they got
listen.
to risk it.
I just want to add one thing. I don't want to say it's a win-win situation. If Napoli pulls a result against Barcelona and beats them, that would
Yep,
be like one of our biggest results in our history. Let's be honest.
that's true. That is
If
true.
we crash out of Europa League, then we have an opportunity
Hey,
to prioritize the Scudetto. So
yeah. By
I
the
don't
way,
see it
look
as
who
a
just
win-win, but I can see benefits for both.
yeah,
But obviously, I think for the growth of the team, you want to knock off of Barcelona just to kind of
Yeah,
say like, hey, look,
yeah,
we can beat the one of the biggest teams in Europe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
In a two-legged tie. So,
By the way, look who just came into the chat here, Mr. Scala
Pete,
himself. What's
either
up, Pete? Welcome. We're just at the tail end of it here, so join us for this last little bit. But okay, so I said Lazio is not a scary team to me, so we win that game. Barca, we can probably win. I think we can win even in regular time. I don't even think we have to go to added time. I think we get a scrappy 1-0 result. I think our defense is good enough to just keep Barca at bay. Hopefully, UEFA Lona doesn't step in and give a stupid penalty and just not give calls back. So I think Barca could be a win in regular time, 1-0, maybe 2-1, scrappy win. Caillete is what scares me. That's a sentence that I think if you hear that from any other fan base, you're gonna be like, "What's this guy talking about?" It, but when you hear
I
it come
agree.
from when you hear it come from a Napoli fan, it's a true statement because it's always these fucking relegation side clubs that give us the worst games that we will ever see in our lives. Cagliari with Mazzari, nonetheless. We're just compounding it on here where they're fighting for out of a relegation zone. They need the points, and Coyote is just a tough. I don't know why, but they're just a tough game. They're just always a tough game, and we have that rivalry. Wink, wink. Against the against the people from Sardinia. I don't know. That's what they think. We just let them have their day because it's Sardinia. That's all they got. But it's a little banter being thrown around there. But I think out of this stretch, I'm gonna go on a point system to say out of 9 points, I think we tie one of these games. So 7 out of 9. I don't think we lose a game. I think we tie a game. But then again, I could be wrong. But that's what I hope. And if there's a game we should tie or lose to, I pray to God it's against Barcelona. I really do. Because here's my reasoning. I'd rather just drop Europa League, to be honest with you at this point. I would just because Milan doesn't have any games, extra games other than Coppa Italia against Inter. Inter doesn't have any extra games either. We
Well,
need to
Liverpool,
try to keep.
they still have to.
Oh, they have Liverpool, but
We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see.
hopefully that one's done.
Just see. Come on, like these guys are going to be fighting for a Scudetto. I think to manage and plan for that, you have to be fighting with them. So, and they're going to be killing each other across 2 legs in the Coppa Italia. So it's not like they're completely done and out of it. They still have some tough matches ahead of them. But if there is a game we lose, I think um I think we should just lose to Barca. That's probably the best case scenario. We have Peter here saying, I think it's important to go over versus Barca. First place probably isn't happening, so get as far as you can in Europe. Top four still the goal. No, first place could happen. What do you? It's. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. We're 2 points away from first place. Milan has another bad game, and we're in first place if we win. Like it's not impossible, but it's hard. And I'd rather just drop Barca.
And we play Milan still
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
And then here's God forbid Napoli just stop a poor club. Give us a stress-free match. Pasquale, when you signed up to be a Napoli fan, you signed up for that as well, man. It's just not gonna happen.
never.
Napoli and beating relegation sides comfortably just doesn't coincide with each other. It
You know
has to
what?
be a scrappy game.
Only with
Probably-
only under Sadi that one year we were kind of comfortable.
Yeah, I guess. What are you saying, Danny?
Call me crazy. This Cali game, I just for some odd reason, I have a feeling Rui might score. I just have this feeling. He's gonna start. He's gonna score.
Yuri's gonna score.
You know what? Because he scored last time against well, a few
You know
years
what?
ago against Cali.
You know
Free
what?
kick.
I'll put $5 on it.
Okay.
I'll put $5 on it.
I know you're
If
so
Rui
confident.
scores-
but
If Rui scores, I'll put $5 on it. I'm gonna go on Bet365 and place $5. Rui scoring anytime.
you probably win
Just to
1,000.
I'd probably they'd probably go bankrupt off that one bet. They're gonna see Mario Rui score and be like, no. Just
Offside, please pray it's offside. Pray it's offside.
And here's Pete again. When was the last time Napoli won stress free?
Lazio, maybe
Lazio 4-0.
Yeah, probably lots of,
Lazio 4-0.
the famous.
But yeah, listen. Well, that's our little that's our little preview of what's come up. Before we head out here, we always like giving a little vibe check. So, Side, you're the vibe master. What are the vibes like?
Okay, right now I'm tired, but
Yeah,
not
fair
really
enough.
vibes. SSCN vibes. Give me a second here. Let me think.
All right.
Let me feel it. Let me channel the
Just
vibe.
vibes. You gotta
It's got
channel
those
them in.
vibes.
The chakras have to align. Let's see what the vibes are like.
I don't know. There's a little bit of swagger in this vibe right now. Like I feel like
Okay.
we got a decent result like camp. Optimistic. The vibe is optimistic.
Optimistic. I
It's
like
like
that.
the storm is done and like the cloud, like the sun is peeking through the clouds. Like
Yeah.
optimistic.
We got our
Yeah,
snow.
I feel like this could be like we're on the verge of like this could potentially like be like an amazing result like if we get past Barcelona. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. So the vibe is very like optimistic. Like imagine like knocking off Barcelona out of Europe in Napoli at the Maradona. Like
Yeah.
how gassed are you gonna be if that happens? So it's like a light vibe, like a optimistic vibe.
Optimistic vibe.
Not too
Danny,
stressed.
Danny,
Yeah.
do you agree with that? Not too stressed. You're good where we are.
I'm more
Optimistic.
like anxious. Like that's
Yeah.
my vibe.
I'm
Thank
like
you.
I don't get anxious anymore. This team doesn't make me anxious.
that.
They disappoint me when they disappoint me, and they make me happy. But I don't know. Lately, I haven't been like really nervous going into any games. To be honest,
You know what though? The Inter game, I wasn't really that nervous
Me neither.
going into it.
Me neither.
Like,
That's still a
you
good.
should-
That's a good sign.
See,
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
I,
That's a good
I,
sign.
I made myself a promise. I'll let them ruin like my day after the game, but I won't let it ruin me while like before the game. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'll enjoy
Yeah.
myself up
I guess
until
it's
the game
because
starts.
you know what it was too. With the Inter game, I think it was because we were getting together.
Danny Pasquale. Look at Buddy,
You know
Rui's
what?
gonna
Hey,
score the goal. That's gonna lead us to a Scudetto, man. I
if
believe.
Mario Rui scores between now and that Milan game, I will put him as my profile picture for a year. I'll make that promise right now.
They're
I
gonna
know
take the they're gonna replace the Maradona statue in front of the stadium. They're gonna put Mario Rui.
If Mario Rui
Or
bookmark this,
they're gonna put Mario Rui crossing the ball to Maradona.
bookmark
His
this,
statue is gonna be crossing it.
bookmark this right now, and Sereno as my witness. I've made this type of bet before and lost. All right. If Mario Rui scores the goal that wins us a Scudetto, I will get him tattooed on my body.
Oh,
of his
100,000%.
face.
I'll get a Mario. I'll put his face
Of
like
his face?
right in my chest.
I will get a Mario. And Sereno can confirm this statement. When Italy was in the penalty shootouts for Euro 2020, I said, no, it wasn't the penalty shootout. It was during the game. I turned to my cousin, who's a Juve fan, unfortunately, and I said they had just subbed on Bernardeschi, and I said if Bernardeschi scores the winning goal to give Italy the cup, I will buy a Juve Bernardeschi jersey. Guess who scored the winning penalty goal?
Bernardeschi, but it was a penalty. So
No, but it still counted. It was a goal. It was the winning goal. I have yet to buy the jersey.
Okay.
Every time I go over, this guy's like, "Oh, when's the jersey coming in? When's the jersey coming in?" I can't make that bet happen, to be honest with you. But because I said it and it came true, I'm going to say it again. If Mario Rui scores a game-winning Scudetto goal, I will get him tattooed on my ass right here. I'll say it right now.
Oh,
Tattooed on my
I'll
ass.
get a Mario Rui tattoo.
Jersey. I'll get a jersey and I'll
if he
tattoo
scores like the
Denmark.
clincher of like the Scudetto, I'll get a Mario Rui like tattoo.
Okay. I'll you know what? I'll join that too.
All right. I guess we're all
I'll put M.R. and then number
With a heart?
6 on my leg. On my leg.
I just put a little heart around it. MR with a little heart.
The perfect
Oh, God.
answer.
I really hope it doesn't happen.
CR7 who?
That's what happens.
MR6.
MR6.
MR6, the best Portuguese player to ever live, better than
Mr.
Ronaldo
Six.
in my books.
Rui in the 6.
Oh man!
Oh.
All right,
TFC should sign him. Screw it.
all right. You know what? I think I gotta agree with the vibes, just based off how we're talking right now. Vibes are optimistic. Vibes are feeling good, regardless of the fact that we played a pretty bad game against Inter. I think the vibes they're there. We're gonna make it through, guys. Don't worry.
Could have been worse.
Scudetto's not over. Europa League's not over. We still got a ways to go. Anything could happen. But listen,
You're alive in the two competitions that you maybe are
Yeah.
aiming for. Like you're there. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not done in your tie in Europa League. You're 2 points behind the Scudetto race. Like you're there.
Yeah.
It's February. It's almost March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, man.
Imagine
Hey,
if
man.
Or some
somehow
balls,
we-
man.
Imagine
You
we
need to see
pull
some
balls.
balls.
We get the double.
If we
That
get the
would-
double, I will. I think I could die the next day.
Yeah,
I'd be
no,
happy.
100%.
You can
Yeah,
buy the
Oh,
next
I
day.
would. Oh,
I think life.
I
would
don't
teach
know
me.
what would happen. Like,
There's
I don't
there's
know
no
what
way
would
around
happen.
it. The
Even
double
just
would be
winning
insane.
to that though, I don't know what would happen.
I think I know what would happen. I think that poor Resto Bar Cafe would be destroyed. We
We,
have
would,
to-
no, we wouldn't be there. We would be in Napoli.
Oh, you know what? That's true. We might be in Italy at that time, but you know what? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have these matches to work
Got a
on
long
first.
way to go.
If they win the double, he'll get ADL tattooed on his ass. I'm gonna screenshot this, all right, and I'm gonna hold you to this. I'm going to hold you to that, buddy. It's on my phone.
If Napoli wins the double, I might just retire from watching soccer.
That's actually a good bet. I think I might too.
Go off
That's
on a
like peak moment.
I might just be like, you know what?
That's it.
I'm good.
That's
we won
it.
a
That's
European
life.
trophy and the Scudetto. I lived what my dad lived. We're good.
But you know what though?
Juventus winning a European trophy.
I'm different. I would get more. I would just focus on Champions League. I would get hungry for the Champions League.
No. We're getting too ahead of ourselves now, Danny. Come on.
No, I'm just saying.
If Jeff Bezos buys us, maybe we can start thinking about Champions League.
Hey, Bezos,
Jeffrey.
you watching?
Jeffrey, if you were watching right now,
is that's a big.
Jeffrey.
I've heard that so many times. Like it might actually have a little bit of
It might be
truth
true.
behind it.
It might be true.
Maybe.
It might be true. I think it could happen. It can't discredit anything yet.
He has to know who we are because of Amazon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. That for
Yeah.
sure knows who we are. Or it could be a sheik. I'd rather have Jeff Bezos, but
I'd rather Bezos too.
I'd rather Bezos. But who knows? Maybe I've heard things that ADL is preparing to sell the club. That's just what it is. That's what I've heard. So who knows? Anything could happen. Well, guys, we're at an hour 20, so I think we should start wrapping it up here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to. Oh, hold on. What does this say here? Sorry, I just got a couple comments I want to bring up. I deleted my comment, I guess, but I stand by it. Don't give UV your money. No, I agree with you. I'm not. I haven't bought the jersey, nor will I. Just a stupid bet that I made, but it's gonna bite me in the ass one day. And one birthday present, I might get a Juve jersey. Who knows? But guys, I just want to say thank you to Danny for coming on one more
Thank you guys
time.
for having me on. It was fun. I
No,
enjoyed
it's a great time. It's always a great time with Danny. And be sure, Danny, plug in. Where could they find you?
it. For me, I'm more of a business type of person, so just follow me at Six Side Calcio. I'll just support our I'm gonna say brand, our account. We
Mhm.
post Serie A news. We cover everything to do with Serie A, and then the Azzurri national team, even Canada. We're trying to get into that too.
Okay.
Just follow us. We have a weekly podcast where we recap the week.
Mhm.
So just follow us at Six Side Calcio and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on any podcast platforms that you may find the podcast.
Perfect. And of course, when this goes without saying, but follow
There
the FDV social media, follow Napoli Club Toronto social media. And you know what? When you follow the club social media, you're also supporting Danny's work because that's all Danny that does all that stuff. So, look at that little banner there. You can follow our social media. Find us there. You'll also find us if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously, from the Far From Vesuvius Network on YouTube. Stay tuned for our social media too. Get updates on upcoming episodes. Once again, I just want to thank you all in the chat. Thanks, Danny, for coming out again.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Always a pleasure. No, Danny, it's a pleasure to have you on our podcast. You're a veteran at this game. We're only just growing here, but once again, thank you all in the chat. Thanks to the guys right here, Danny and Sereno, for coming on again for another successful episode. Before we head out, just want to hear one Forza Napoli in the chat. Just say it out loud, just so we get these vibes going. Get ready for Monday because Monday.
And guys, don't forget Napoli Cup Toronto, the beanies.
Let's see that jacket. Let's
Awesome.
see that jacket.
And the jackets too.
Got a little mug. Let's see. Oh, the mug,
My mug
is
is
really
somewhere.
there. It is.
My
There it
mug's
is.
getting
Little
washed.
mug here. Yeah, it's on our website, NapoliClubToronto.com. All the gear is on there. Not only supporting us, but you're also supporting Ontario small businesses. Portion of the funds gets donated to a couple businesses. So please, we thank you for the support. It's much love. Forza Napoli sempre. Thank you guys. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.